Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how to deploy your Godot multiplayer game into a web hosting called Heroku. So let's get started. First thing we need is to install a Docker. To install it, we simply go to their website, download it. I'm not going to show it now, just look it up if you're having trouble. Once we're done with that, we pull the Nginx image. So simply run docker pull Nginx. I currently have it, but if you do not have it yet, it would install it. Okay. Once we're done, we can export our projects. So for me, I have in my multiplayer game client project and a server project, which are connected to each other using WebSockets. So we will take the server. The server listens on port 11111, at least mine. Let me show you. Just like so. I guess yours is on another port, but keep it in mind, we are going to use it later. So we export, and when we export it to Linux. If you do not have it, just add a Linux, 64-bit, and export PCK file. Do not export the project, we only need the PCK. So I already did it, so I would not do it again. Once we're done with that, we can export the client as well, like so. That's my client. Now in the client, make sure you change the server's details. So let me show you. So my original configuration was connect to the server on port 11111. Now when we deploy it on a remote server, we are going to change it to port 443 and to the domain of our app name, just your game name, .herokuapp.com. Then we would create the whole server URL, which is wss / IP address port /ws/. Later on, I will show you we are going to redirect every connection goes to ws/ to port 11111. Okay, so now we can export, and when we export it to HTML5 because that is our web server which the client connects to. Just export project this time, not PCK, because it's with the HTML file and everything. I already did that, so I would not do it again. So I put them each in its own folder. So the client, that's the HTML5, and the server, that is the PCK file. Now this file is the Godot server binary. So you need to go to the Godot website and download the server version, this one, not the headless one, the server 64-bit, and save it in the same folder as the server. At least that's how I did it. So okay, once we're done with that, we need our Nginx configuration. We need Nginx. Nginx is a web server software. We would simply deploy it in order to let clients connect to our client files, or HTML5 files. So that's pretty much the configuration. You can just copy it. Just make sure you change the proxy path to your server's listening port. Other than that, if you're interested in what's going on here, so we basically listen on a port the Heroku platform will determine for us, and every time someone connects to WS, which means every time someone connects to our server project, just forward it to the proxy path. Make sure to add the trailing slash. It's important. So that's pretty much it. Other than that, it's pretty default. So we got it as well, and add the Supervisor D configuration. So the Supervisor D is simply a service management software for Linux. So what it basically does here is to run our Godot server with this PCK file as an argument. So it simply runs the server, and it helps us auto restart or auto start it on errors and stuff. Not very interesting, just copy paste it and that's it. This one you can delete. I'll upload everything later so you could use. Okay, so we got everything settled. All we need is the Docker file, and then we can upload it to the hosting service. So the Docker file is as follows. We take the Nginx image, we downloaded it first, just update some packages, copy everything, like the server and client and configuration files, and then what we do is run the configuration file, run the Nginx using the configuration template we uploaded, and we make sure to change the port in the configuration as Heroku wants us to. Plus we execute the Supervisor D binary. Not that interesting, just run it and it should work. So we got the Docker file. Now we can upload it to Heroku. So for those of you who are familiar with Docker files, we would usually create the Docker file, the configuration, and then create the container using the Docker command. Right now we're gonna create a container and upload it to Heroku at the same time. If you do not know anything about Dockers, it's okay. Just make sure to follow my instructions. So how do we do it? We go to Heroku and install the register, install the CLI, download it, so we should be able to run the Heroku command. And once we got it, we need to log in and container login. I'm already logged in, so I will not show you, but make sure you do it. Then you change the directory to the folder we uploaded all the files to, and simply create your app, which just use the app you want, and if you do not know which region to choose, just delete it, and then you push the app using the files in the directory. How you do it? Heroku container push web app and your app name, the one you just created. So it's gonna take a while, but basically you run it and it works, and then you release it. Do the same, just instead of push, change it to release. And the app name, for me it's Lollybird, for you something else. So for me it's already updated, so it's cool. And then you can just open it in Heroku. So Heroku, open up your app name. It simply opens the web browser, but you can simply use this URL and just play your game. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, let me know. And that's it.